Sar. Sar.
La Yashala.
La Yashala. Sar. Sar. Okay, I imagine, which means to stand. Wapanya Akudam. Go ahead, first stand. I imagine. Okay, Wapanya Akudam, which means to rise and face the east. If you're in class with us, the east will be this way, straight ahead. All right, we're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Kodash.
Kodash Shemayah. Real quick, take one step to your right. Just one little step to your right. There you go. There you go. Now we sing it.
Kodash.
Start over,
Salak. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah. Shemka.
Yahweh.
Malapaka.
Malapaka.
Taba'ah. Ratazad. Hayah. Aisha. Maharatazad. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayah. Lathanlanaw. Laham. Yawam. Wasalachlanaw. Kawawafnaw. Hasalachnaw. Kawawafyanaw. Wala'ah. Tabayanaw. Banasayawan. Abal. Awashayanaw. Ayan. Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'alam,
Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Habakashah. Nathanaw. Hakak. La'pa'ah. Kal Makalah. Kal Marawah. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazariah. Hakak. Hamat. Hakak. Awakawa. Tama'ala. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Kawada Aman. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power to heal all men of sickness and all men of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against the unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. The prayer of the blessed Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Baraklanaw.
Yashala. Waha. Mayaf Sapar. Rapat. Magun. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Kawada
Aman. What we just said was Yahweh in the name of Yahushua. Bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Ahahari. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Aizar. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemaya. Waharatazah. Ayatan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shamar. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamar, Yahweh, Tazal, Yamninka, Yamamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaya, Wayara, Yahweh, Yashamar, Yakalra, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wabawaka, Ma'itha, Aman. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim. Al-Damayah Lakah.
Al-Damayah Lakah.
Al-Thakarash.
Al-Thakarash.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al all. Yahana. Yahana. Awayabika. Awayabika. Yahamayawan. Yahamayawan. Wamashanayaka. Wamashanayaka. Nasha'awa. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Ra'ash. Al-Amika. Al-Amika. Yarayamu. Yarayamu. Sawa. Sawa. Wayatayai Tazawa. Wayatayai Tazawa. Altazapawanyaka. Altazapawanyaka. Amawa. Amawa. Lakawa. Lakawa. Wanakaki. Wanakaki. Magoya. Magoya. Wala'a. Wala'a. Yazakar. Yazakar. Shamyashawa. Shamyashawa. Aiwa. Aiwa. Kaya. Kaya. Nawa'ai Tazawa. Nawa'ai Tazawa. La. La. Yahabi. Yahabi. Alyaka. Alyaka. Waya. Waya. Yakarafwa. Yakarafwa. Ahawli. Adawan. Adawan. Wayashama Audi. Wayashama Audi. Mawaba. Mawaba. Bahagari. Bahagari. Gabal. Gabal. Waimawan. Waimawan. Wamalak. Wamalak. Halashah. Halashah. Aim Yashabi. Aim Yashabi. Tazawu. Tazawu. Gamashawu. Gamashawu. Nalawa. Nalawa. Aiman. Aiman. Iowa. Iowa. Zarawa. Zarawa. Labani Lawat. Labani Lawat. Salah. Salah. Aisha. Aisha. Lahum. Lahum. Kamad. Kamad. Kasayasara. Kasayasara. Kayabi. Kayabi. Lanahal. Lanahal. Koyashwan. Koyashwan. Yashamabi. Yashamabi. Ayandara. Ayandara. Iowa. Iowa. Daman. Daman. Ladama. Ladama. Shayatama. Shayatama. Nadiyabu. Nadiyabu. Kaira. Kaira. Wakazaba. 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 Kauna Saya Kamba. Kauna Saya Kamba. Ashar. Ashar. Amawa. Amawa. Maya Rashad. Maya Rashad. Nawa. Nawa. Ah. Nawa. Nawa. Alahaya. 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 Shayatama. Shayatama. Kagagala. Kagagala. Kakwash. Kakwash. Kapanya Rakad. Kapanya Rakad. Kaash. Kaash. Kagari Ira. Kagari Ira. Wakalahaba. Wakalahaba. Walahat. Walahat. Haryam. Haryam. Gan. Gan. Karadap. Karadap. Basara. Basara. Wabasawa Pat. Wabasawa Pat. Tabahalom. Tabahalom. Halaa. Halaa. Panyahom. Panyahom. Walawan. Walawan. Waya Bakwash. Waya Bakwash. Shamkar. Shamkar. Yahawah. Yahawah. Bashwa. Bashwa. Waya Bahawa. Waya Bahawa. Ayah. Ayah. Waya Kapara. Waya Kapara. Waya Abad. Waya Abad. Waya Da'ai. Waya Da'ai. Kaya. Kaya. Atah. Shamkar. Shamkar. Yahawah. Yahawah. Abad. Abad. Al. Yawan. Yawan. Al. Al. Kal. Ratazah. Aman. Aman. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. And hold not thy peace. And hold not thy peace. And be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. Thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Egypt. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Arab, and like Zed, yea, all their princes as Zabad, and as Amunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Hold my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame sets the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. The prayer of the blessings of the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahai. Wa Alahai. Matazabia. Matazabia. Alawap Yahana. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawap. Ha Alawap. Ha Saranyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kayayawim. Ha no Salaki. Also Ha Katazayanyam. Ha Katazayanyam. Ha Kayayawim. Ha Kayayawim. Wa Ha Akwaf. Wa Ha Akwaf. Yahweh. Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh Shah. Bashim Yahweh Shah. The Wada Aman. Wada Aman in English. Bless you Yahweh. Bless you Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohanan, the generals, the captain, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabia, which means to be seated. We're in Genesis, the 36th chapter. Uh-oh. You too up. My knees hit that. No, you too up. Oh. I left my Bible at home. Or is it in there? No, I think I left it. That's the one thing I forgot. I'm going to have to use my phone. So we in the book of Genesis chapter 36, verse 39. Is it 39 or 38? 39. Okay. In the Hebrew, Vayamah, Ba'al, Hanak, So like Hanan, Ban, Ikabawar, Wayamalak, Thakathua, Hadar, Washam, Ayarawa, is that
Where you at?
right here, Ayawarwa,
Ayawarwa.
Iowa, Washam, Ashafwa, Mahayat, Baal, Bath, Matzarad, Bath, Maya, Zahab, verse 40. Wayala, Shamawa, Alawapya, Aishawa, Lama Pakathum, Lama Kwamathum, Lama Kwamathum, Bashamathum, Alawap, Damanai, Alawap, Yathah. Verse 41. Alawap, Ahala, Yabama, Alawap, Ha Yanan. Verse 42. Alawap, Qanaz, Alawap, Dayaman, Alawap, Mama Tazarah, Mama Tazar. Verse 43. Alawap, Magadia Al, Alawap, Ayaram, Allah, Alawapya, Adawam, Lama Shabathum, Ba'arataza, Achazathum, Hawa'a, Aishawa, Abaya, Adawam.
45. Oh, so 2, verse 2.
Yeah, I'm about to say verse 2. Genesis chapter 37, verse 1. Wayashab, Yaikwa, Ba'arataza, Magawarya, Abayawa, Ba'arataza, Canaan. Verse 2. Allah, Daladwa, Yaikwa, Yawasap, Ban, Shabai, Aishara, Shana, Haya, Ra'ai, Achayawa, Batazan, Wahawa'a, Na'ir, Banya, Balaha, Wa'a, Banya, Zalapa, Nashia, Abayawa, Wayaba'a, Yawasap, Dabathum, Ra'ai, Al, Abayahum.
So we in Genesis chapter 36 and verse 39. And Balaam, the son of Akbor, died, and Hadar reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Pa, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matri, the daughter of Mazahab. Verse 40. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau, according to their families, after their places by their names. Duke Timnah, Duke Alva, Duke Japheth. Verse 41. Duke Ahalabama, Duke Elah, Duke Panan, Duke Kanaz, Duke Teman, Duke Mibzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Aram. These be the dukes of Edom, according to their habitations in the land of their possession. He is Esau, the father of the Edomites, who were the Edomites, the so-called white man today. This is Genesis chapter 37 and verse 1. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. Verse 2. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 70 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Oh, sorry. I think I may have pressed the
play button.
Audio here. So
way down there in the corner too. Genesis chapter 37, verse 3 in the Hebrew. Wayasha'ala, Bahab, Yawasap, Makal, Banyawa, Kaya, Ban, Zaquanium, Hayawa, Lawa, Wa Aisha, Lawa, Bathanah, Pasayum. Verse 4. Wayarawa, Achyawa, Kaya, Athawa, Aha, Abiyahom, Makal, Akyawa, Wayashna'awa, Athwa, Wala'a, Yakawa, Debarwa, La Shalom. Verse 5. Wayakalom, Yawasap, Kalawam, Wayagad, La Kahiwa, Wayawasapwa, Aiwad, Shana'a, Athwa. Verse 6. Wayamar Alahayim, Shemaiwa, Na'a, Haka, Lawam, Hazah, Ashar, Kalamathya. Verse 7. Wahana, Anakana, Nawa, Ma'a, Alamyam, Bathawak, Hashada, Wahana, Kwama, Alamathya, Wagam, Natazaba, Wahana, Dasa, the Sabya na, Alamathyakum, Wathashak, Kawanyam, Lamathya. Verse 8. Nine after what? One more verse. Wayamarwa, Lawa, Akyawa, Hamalat, Damalak, Yanawa, Mashawal, Damashal, Banawa, Wayawasapwa, Aiwad, Shana, Athwa, Kalamathyawa, Wa'al, Dabariwa. Verse 9, last verse. Wa'akalam, Aiwad, Kalawam, Akhar, Wa'asapar, Athwa, La'akahyawa, Wa'amar, Hana, Kalamathya, Kalawam, Aiwad, Wahana, Hashamash, Wahayarak, Wahad, Aishar, Kawakabium, Mashak, Hayawam. This was like, Mashatak, Wayam, Mashatak, Yawam, Mashatak, Yawam, Wayam, Laya.
All right, this is Genesis chapter 37, verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. So like, you go back up. Jacob. These are the generations of Jacob, Joseph. Okay, I was making sure the age was right on Joseph. Okay, this is verse 3 of Genesis chapter 37. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. Verse 4. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. Verse 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. Verse 6. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheaf. Verse 8. And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? and they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. So Joseph, this brother had visions. He had a dream, and one of his dreams were that he had they were binding sheaves in the field, wheat. That's a sheave is what today you can kind of say it's a bale, but not quite a sheaf. If you look at what's going on, brother, if you look at old pictures and you just Google a sheaf, you will see it's like a handful of wheat, and it's like wrapped up. So he said that they took their sheaves, right? And he took the wheat. In order to make bread, you have to grind that grain that's at the top of that plant, and you grind it and knead it, and then you have flour, or you have which you use to make bread. So he's having this vision, this dream, that him and all 11 of his brothers are in the field kneading this bread, grinding this sheaf of wheat. And his sheaf stands upright. So imagine this right here is a sheaf. It's standing upright. All of his brothers' sheaves are laying down, all bowing towards his sheaf that's standing upright. And his brothers took that as to mean, they interpreted his dream to mean, you mean to tell me that your dream is all of us bowing down? They already hate Joseph because his daddy Jacob, their father Jacob, loved him more than all the rest of the brothers. He had a favorite son, like all of us have favorites, like the Most High has a favorite people, right? So his father Jacob loved Joseph more than all the rest of their brothers, his brothers. And because of that, his brothers hated Joseph. They despised Joseph. They couldn't speak peaceably to him, meaning they had an attitude with him. Every time they saw him, it was, you know how brothers have sibling rivalries, and you may pick on him or he may pick on you. Take it to the extreme, and that was how the 12 tribes of Israel, how the 11 tribes treated, the 11 sons treated Joseph. They were angry with him all the time. And he had this dream that his brothers were bowing down to him, even though Joseph at this time was the youngest son. He wasn't the oldest. He wasn't even the ninth oldest. He was number 11 on the 12. Everyone understands? So at this time, he's the youngest brother. And all the rest of his brothers are angry that their father loved him more. And now he made them even more angry because he told them his dream and told them that my sheaf was upright, your sheaves bowed down on the ground as if they were worshiping me. And that's the way his brothers interpreted it. This is verse Salakia. This is verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. All right. So like I'll put it right here so you can clap. So like, my bad.
Now we back to the Hebrew, Genesis chapter 37, verse 10. In the Hebrew, Sapar, all, Abaya, wa all, Akyawa, Wayagaya, Bawa, Abba Yawa, Wayamor, Lawa, Ma, Haka, Lawam, Hazah, Shar, Halama, Haba Wa'a, Naba Wa'a, Anya, Wa'a, Mak. Wa Hayak, La Hashah, Kawa, La Aratazah. Verse 11. Wa Akwan Awa, Ba Bawa, Akyawa, Awa, Wa Abia Wa, Shamar, Hadabar. Verse 12. Wa Lakwa, Akyawa, Lara I wa Tazaan, Abiyahum, Bashakum. Verse 13. Wayamar Yasha'ala al Yawasa Halawa'a Akya Aka Yak Ra'ayam Bashakum Laka Wa'ashalakak. What's that? Wa'ashalakak. Wa'ashalakak Alayahum Wayamar Lawa Hananya. Verse 14. Wayamar Lawa La Na'a Ra'a Shalom. Shalom Akiyak Wa'a Shalom Hataza'an Wahashabanya Dabar Wayashalak Kaka. Wayashalah Kahawa. I don't know if I feel like I'm butchering that. Wayashalah Wala shalak hawa. Ma'ai mak. Kabarwan. Wayaba'a shakama. Verse 15. Wayamataza hawa. Ayash. Wahana. Da'ai. Bashada. Wayasha. It's like Wayasha Hawa Allah Hawa.
Wayasha Allah Hawa.
Wayasha Allah Hawa. Hayash La Amar Ma Dabakwash. Verse 16. Wayamar Akia Anakia Abakwash Haga Yada Na'alaya Ayabha Ham Ra'ayam.
That was it.
That was 16.
Yeah, 16. We stop. All right, this is Genesis chapter 37 and verse 10. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? So now he told it to Jacob, his father. And remember, his father loved him more than all the rest of his brothers. So he's giving him he's going to his father thinking his father's going to give him a biased opinion of his dream. Oh, what do you think about this? He told this to his father. His father didn't like it because his father thinks just like his brothers that you are telling us you are the youngest here and you're telling us that we're going to bow down to you. We're going to worship you. We're going to serve you. Is that what you're telling me? Verse 11, and his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. Verse 12, and his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And the Bible said that his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. So even though his father initially thought like his brothers, well, I don't know, man. He said, what you talking about, boy? You telling me even your mother and me, we're going to worship you, we're going to serve you? What are you saying? You're the youngest. Is that what you're telling us? Is that what you're telling us? And that's his initial response. But then Jacob thought about it. Yaquah was like, I don't know, man. He observed the same, meaning he thought about it. He observed it. He's watching his son his son Joseph, Yahusap, and all the rest of his sons, and he's watching and he's just looking. He's wondering, like, man, maybe could he be right? Could he be wrong? You understand? Verse 12. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. Verse 13. And Israel said unto Joseph, Salakia, do not thy brethren flee the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here I am. No, Salakia. And he said to him, here am I. Verse 14. And he said to him, go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. Verse 15. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? Verse 16. And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 17, going back to the Hebrew. Wayamar Hayash Nasa Aywa Mazah Kaya Shamayya Amarim Nalaka Dakyana Wayalak Yawasap Achar Achayawa Wayamataza Badatan. Verse 18. Wayara'awa Athwa Marakak Wabataram Yaquara Alahayim Wayatanak Lua Athwa Laha Mayakwa. Verse 19. Wayamarwa Ayash Al Akyawa, Hana, Ba'al, Hakala Mawah, yeah, Hakala Mawah, Halaza, Ba'a, verse 9, Salaki, verse 20. Wa'aita Lakawa, Wana Hara Gahawa, Wana Shalak Hawa, Ba'akad, Habara Wa, Wa'amara Maranwa, Kaya, Ra'ai, Akla, Akala, what's that? Akalathawa. Okay. Akalathawa. Wana Ra'a. Ma Yahayawa. Kalamath Yawa. Kalamath Yawa. Verse 21. Waya Shemai Ra'a Waban. Ra'a Waban, Salaki. Waya Tazala Hawa. Maya Dam. Waya Mar La'a Naka Nawa. Napash. Verse 22. What's that? 23. Waya Mar Alaham Ra'a Waban. Al Dashapa Kawa. Dam Hashalak Salaki. Hashala Yakawa, Atawa, Al, Habawar, Hazah, Shar, Bama Dabar, Wayad, Al, Dashala Kawa, Bawa, Lama Ain, Hataza Yala, Atawa, Mayadam, Lahash, Wahash, Yabawa, Al, Abiyawa, verse 23. Wayahaya, Kashar, Ba'ad, Yawasa, Al, Akyawa, Wayapash, Yatwa, Yawasa, Kathanathwa, Kathanath, Hapasyam, Is that right there? Hapasyam, Ashar, Al Yawa.
This is Genesis chapter 37, verse 17. And the man said, Salaki, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. Verse 18. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him, meaning they wanted to unalive Joseph. That's what they wanted to do, because that's how much they hated him. Which goes to show you that even during the times where Christians talk about, well, things were different back in the old times, brother, the things were the same. We hate each other now. We hated each other then. Like, they were literally blood relative brothers, like physical brothers. They had the same father. Some of them had the same mother. They all had the same dad, and they are physical brothers. And they still hated each other. That just goes to show you what Christ did, how important it was for us. Just keeping the law is one thing, but to love your brethren, that is something completely, that is the hardest thing to do. To love the Most High God, which is loving your people, that is probably the hardest thing to do. Putting shrimp down and pork down is easy. Putting weed down is easy. The hardest thing to do is loving your people, brother. Because your people is who are next to you everywhere you go. It's who you are going to get sick of. You're going to see a brother, somebody of your own race, they're going to do something to you, like make too much noise around where you live. You're going to go out there and ask them, listen, I'm trying to go to sleep. You mind keeping it down? They're not going to keep it down. They're going to scuff your shoe in the club. They're going to take your woman. They're going to sell your mother drugs. They're going to do terrible things to each other. We are. And it takes a lot to still love your people in spite of all of that. That is the hardest thing to do, is to love your own people. Everything else is easy. Keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments, the rest of them are simple. The hardest thing to do throughout the entire Bible was brothers and sisters loving each other. That's why it's the hardest thing to do now. That's why it's the hardest thing to do now. There are no AA programs about loving black people. There's AA programs about Alcohol Anonymous, about getting off drugs and alcohol. There are some about stop being a sexual deviant. They have programs of brothers that are addicted to pornography. They have all types of programs for men and women to be less sinners. The one program that is not found in the earth outside of the ISUPK is how to love each other. How to love each other is pivotal in life. It's the most important thing in this earth is loving your brother, loving your sister. Even though they did something to you, how are you going to respond? Are you going to unalive them like Little Dirk? Even though they unalived your best friend, King Von, are you going to hire some people to unalive them? Is that what you're going to do? Then you don't love your people. You don't love your brothers if you're going to unalive them because they hurt you. You don't love them. If you're going to take another man's woman, you don't love that brother. If you're a sister and you gossip about another woman, you don't love that sister. You don't have sisterhood. Like, loving your people is the hardest thing imaginable. You can't sell drugs to your people. You can't be a liar. You can't be a thief. You can't be a sexual deviant. All the laws are predicated on if you love your brothers and your sisters. That's the law. What else do you have the law for if it wasn't for having a better society of our people? The Most High established these laws so we are not like the heathens and so that we have love for one another. Because like the scripture says in John, the greatest love, the greatest commandment is loving God and your brothers. Which means what? Loving God is loving your brothers. It's having brotherhood. It's loving your people. That's the hardest thing since the beginning of time. Since Cain and Abel. Cain hated his brother. Esau hated his brother. Judah, Benjamin, Naphtali, Zebulun, Isupk hated their brother. It's throughout the entire Bible. Who else hated a brother? David. Saul hated David. David hated the brother whose wife he had sex with. Like throughout the entire Bible, Judas hated Christ. Like having a hatred towards your people is the thing that is the common theme in the Bible. Why? Because loving your people is so hard, man. Putting down drugs, you can go to a conference for that. Stop watching porn, there's a conference for that. Turn the internet off. Not being alcoholic, it's a program for that. There are 12-step programs to get off drugs. What's the program to love black people? What's the program to love Hispanics and Native Indians? What program is that? You don't find it outside the Bible. You don't find it outside the ISUPK and the Commanded Journey Honor. This is the only program in the earth that teaches blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how to love each other, man. Because that is the one thing that we cannot do. There have been great strides of brothers and sisters keeping the laws, except loving each other. That's always the hardest thing. You can put down pork and shrimp and be holy in that church, but do you love black people in that church? I think you don't. Do you love Hispanics in that church? I think not. That is the greatest thing in the world, is to love your people. That's the greatest law. It's the greatest thing in the earth, and it is the hardest thing in the earth. But we have conquered that demon, and we do it in the ISUPK. Under Commanded Journey Honor, Commanded Journey Honor has found this a way for brothers and sisters to love each other. You know what he uses? He uses this Bible that you look over every day. He uses this book right here. This Bible, it gives a lesson on how to love your people, man. It shows you if you having this issue with your brother, if you having this issue with your sister, pick up this Bible. It's going to teach you what actions that you should take so that you don't hate this brother. Like King Von got unalived. Okay, we get it. Well, should Little Dirk go and now pay some brothers to go and unalive the people that killed King Von? Should he? Would you do that? You absolutely would, because you think that you love King Von. Well, guess what? If you love King Von, you know what you can't do? You can't hurt the people who unalived him. That's how you love your brother. If you're a brother in California who wears red and you're a blood, or you're a brother in California who wears blue, the Crips and the Bloods have been going to war with each other before I was born, since the crack epidemic in the 80s. So now, should you continue that war in 2024? Should you continue that war in 2034 and 2054? How about you try this? How about you try loving the brothers from the opposing side? How about instead of the Norteños fighting the Sureños, how about you two love each other? How about the two of you put all your differences aside, like how you do with white people? Whenever white people come to you and tell you that to forget about slavery, you forget about slavery. But you won't forget about King Von being unalived. You won't let bygones be bygones with another black man. But you would vote for Donald Trump, who was an open racist. You forgive white people, but you don't forgive your brothers. There's a problem with that. You should treat your people the same way you love white people. how you forgive them for everything, how you don't take up arms against white people when they unalive Sonia Massey, unalive Philando Castile, unalive the slaves, unalive brothers in the South when they were lynched at the tune of 3,000 in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. You just forget about that. You forget about that, Elijah. You don't even give a damn when the white man hurt your sisters and your brothers. You forget about it and you go to church. And guess what? When you go to church, you're going to pray with a racist white boy named Dylan Stone Roof who's going to unalive you, and your grandchildren are going to forgive him at his hearing. That's the type of love you need to love other blacks and Hispanics with. You need to love your people with the love that you love white people with. And then we would be in a better place, man. God will look down on us and heal our nation and heal our brothers and our sisters if we love each other more. But the problem is we don't love each other. And that's been a common thing from the very beginning. Everyone understand? This, go ahead, you had something you want to say? Go ahead,
if I may, just to further your point, what I noticed about the story that we're reading, especially Christians, like I know brothers and sisters in the world that hate their direct family members, brothers and sisters. Like they hate because the youngest is maybe the favorite. People in the world, they hold grudges. You hold grudges and you covet what somebody else wants. And that becomes a grudge that you hold down internally and you just never get older. You're like a child forever.
That's right.
Holding on to something so dumb and petty, and you hate a brother. They hated their brother enough they was willing to unalive him.
That's right.
Because he was their father's favorite son.
That's right.
Because they want to be in his position. They want to be the favorite. Like many of us in the world thought like that. I didn't grow up with any siblings, but I did have cousins who I felt like my grandmother, that okay, he's the favorite because she always let him get away. We all been there and done that, but you shouldn't get to a point to where you hate that person, to where you want to unalive them. Because how can you say that this is the thing, this is the point that I wanted to make. If we can't even love our direct family members, we're never going to love a stranger, another brother or sister, like the Bible commands us to love each other like brothers. You don't even love your own damn family.
That's right.
You're about to get ready to celebrate Thanksgiving when you sit across from the uncle who molested you. You're about to sit across from everybody who gossips about your business.
That's right.
And you just coming together for the hell of it. You don't even know why you're coming together for Thanksgiving.
And you celebrating the death and unaliving of your brother.
Other brothers. That was going to be my next point.
Jesus Christ.
So, like, you really just celebrating hate.
That's right.
And you're content with being hateful. And the only way you're going to learn how to defeat that demon of hating a brother, hating your family, and hating any damn body is getting inside of these classes, learning about this Bible, and coming to Sabbath services, man.
Damn right.
It's like it. That's all
I That's what you're going to learn about it. Because we have master love for our brothers, man. We absolutely have. We don't just talk about it. You come to our Passover in April, what's the date of the Passover? April 19th in Atlanta, Georgia. You come to our Passover and see if we don't mean what we say when we talk about love.
Yeah, right.
We don't hate each other in here. We love each other in here. So what, a brother, they offend me. Guess what? We have steps to take that we obey our King Christ on how to deal with a brother or sister offending each other. You just go to counsel. That's it. It's not deep to go and slay and plot and conspire to unalive someone. You don't have to do what little Dirk did. Now he's going to miss the rest of his life rotting in prison, all because he hated his brother. That's why. You don't have to hate your brothers, man. That's a choice that you have to make every day, to love your people or to hate your people. And what we're reading about are 11 brothers who made the wrong choice. And later on, they're going to regret it. Everyone understand? And this is, go ahead.
And just last thing, because it's the class General Muhammad did with Thursday was so heavy.
Yeah, right.
This little Dirk didn't have mercy.
Yeah, right.
And now the judge may not have mercy on him.
Oh, you can best believe he won't. Her or he, the judge ain't going to have mercy.
So, I mean, think about that for a second before you hate your brother and you don't want to practice any mercy on another brother or sister.
That's right.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, right. Now, get a brother hand. He that doth give no mercy shall receive no mercy. And that's what these 11 brothers of Israel's sons, that's what they're going to see. They're going to realize that in a few years. And this is what's so heavy, what the brothers just said about being childish. There's a childish demon on the nation of Israel from this time on until now. This nigga was 70 years old. 70 years old. And they still hated him, and they're 100. Which means Judah had to be 100. Because they came years before he was born. So these were 80, 90-year-old men hating each other. Grown adult men with grandkids.
Daddy favorite.
And you're 70. You're childish. That's what you are. And we never grow up. We never grow up because we have a demon, a lust to hate. It's like a lust to want to hate your brother. What you have to do is fight that lust and come into the Israelite school of UPK so you can really learn how to love your people. This is Genesis chapter 37. Go ahead, clap it up. This is Genesis chapter 37 and verse, where are we? Verse 19. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. So that ain't mocking him. Oh, here come the dreamer boy. Why they thinking about unaliving them? You disgusting Christians, man. That's how you Christians think. You Christians are so disgusting. You hate your own people, even though we're at the bottom of the totem pole. Even though we're in poverty and we're strung out on drugs and been molested and been raped and taken advantage of and oppressed, you still hate the people who are at the bottom, who live in tent cities all across Kansas City, all across America. You hate those people. You're disgusting, man. This is their little brother who happened to be the favorite of their father at 70 years old, which means they're 80. And instead of them loving him even more, they decide to think about unaliving him. Conspire means to plan and plot, to think about it. Okay, we're going to do this. Let's make an idea, and how we're going to unalive him. They thinking and plotting and planning on unaliving their little brother. That's how much we hate each other, man. Now you see why there had to be a city of refuge once Moses came along years after this, because we hate each other so much, we unalived each other and then left. We didn't care about the law saying thou shalt not murder. We wanted to unalive somebody just like the brothers want to do now, just like Little Dirk, just like the Crips and the Bloods. That's how much we hate each other. We should love each other and hate our oppressor. That's what we should do, man. Let's keep going. This is Genesis chapter 37 and verse 20. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say, some evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. Verse 21, and Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. So this brother Reuben, you thinking that, oh, he don't want to unalive him, he's a good big brother. He don't want to unalive him because he's thinking that his father's just going to save him anyway. His motive of not unaliving him isn't a pure one. It's not like, well, let's not unalive. He is our brother, for crying out loud. That ain't what the Bible says. It says, and Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. He might escape. He might escape. If we lay a hand on him, if we try to stab him and unalive him, he can run away and go into the hands of his father and he's going to get saved by daddy, and then daddy's going to come down on all of us. Their whole thought, this is how much hate we have for each other. This is how much hate we really have for each other. And it didn't go away from 6,000 years ago until now. We still have that hatred to each other because we've never been taught how to love each other. Think about that for a second. The reason we hate each other is easy. It's easy to hate anybody. It's hard to love somebody. And the only reason you don't know how to love is because you haven't been taught how to love. But you for sure haven't been taught how to hate. And these brothers haven't been taught how to love each other, which is the reason why Christ had to come. Now you see why it was so heavy when Christ said, although you've heard it said in times past, an eye for an eye and an ear for an ear, I tell you that if your brother smite thee on this cheek, give him this cheek also. Christ had to teach us how to give each other another chance to not hurt each other again. That's why Christ had to come on the scene. Christ didn't come here to teach us how to love white people. That's not why shalom, sis. That's not, you can come into class if you want, sis. That's the reason why Christ had to come into this earth, onto this earth, to teach his people how to love each other. He didn't come in this, his mission wasn't to teach us how to love Donald Trump in America, right, and to love our oppressor, and to love the slave master who raped our women and destroyed our brothers. He taught us how to love each other because we never were taught how to. That's why it was so revolutionary, the things that Christ was teaching us. How not to hate each other, how to love one another. That was very instrumental and very revolutionary on how to change a race of people. That's how you change, brother. That's how you change. You don't change by going to church. You don't change by going to a Muslim mosque and becoming an Arab and praying to an Arab God. You don't change by moving out of the country of your oppression. You don't change by having sex with white women and marrying out your race. You change by obeying our King Jesus Christ on how to love each other. That's how you really change. If you want to make a revolution or a revolve, which means a turn, that's what a revolution is. It's a turn, like revolving around the earth. If you really want to make a revolution and turn and change and repent, it starts with loving your people, man.
That's right.
That's the first step in repentance, is learning how to love God's chosen people who are your people. That's how you change, brother. And this shows you Christ had to come. Christ had to come because from the very beginning, brothers just hated each other because no one ever taught us how to love. We knew how to obey God's law, meaning we knew what the law was. We knew what we could and could not do, but did it stop us? Hell no, because we were never taught how to love our brothers. That is the crux of the law. That is the pivotal, instrumental, revolutionary thing about this life, is loving your brothers and loving your sisters. Everyone understand? Genesis chapter 37, verse 23. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him. So when they saw him, they talking and conspiring as he's walking close to them. Hey, you see this nigga? This is the dreamer. Here come the dreamer, y'all. Here's the dreamer. Oh, here's the dreamer. Well, let's unallow him. They conspire, so they talking. Hey, let's unallow him. What we gonna do, Judah? What we gonna do, Reuben? Well, let's throw him in the pit. No, let's slice him up. Let's do this. Let's hit him over the head with a stick. Reuben said, no, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna throw him in the pit, because if we unalive him or lay a hand on him, he can get away and go into the hands of our Father. So let's just throw him into a deep ditch. So now they see him. He finally comes up on them. They strip, before they even said anything to him, they just strip him down of his coat. Man. They strip him of his coat and getting ready to throw his brother into a ditch, man. That's what they were doing. That's what they're doing. Go ahead, Elijah. Where did I stop? Verse 23?
You stopped at
verse 23. 37 and 23.
Kind of. So we on 24.
You in 38 right now. You 37, 24. Yep.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Wayapakhawa, Wayashakawa, Athwa, Habara, Wahaba War, Rock, Ayan, Bawa, Mayam. Verse 25. Wayashabwa, La'akal, Lakam, Wayashawa, Ayanyaham, Wayarawa, Wahawana, Arakha, Yashama Aya.
Yashama Alim. That's Ishmael.
Yashama Alim. Ba'a. Magala Ai. Wagama La Yahom. Nasha Ayim. Naka. So those are the Ishmael. That's when they came and picked them up, right?
Khan.
Nasha Ayim. Naka A. Wataza warrior. Walat. Hawa Lakyum. Laha warrior Yad. Mataza Ra Yama. Verse 26. Matazaria Salaki. Verse 26. Wayamar Yahawada. Al Akiyawa. Ma. Bataza I. Kaya Naharag. A. Akayanu. Akayanwa. Wakasayanwa. A. Damawa. Verse 27. Lakawa, Wanama, Kar Noa, Lashama, Aya Alyum, Wayadnoa, Al Apa, Tahaya, Bawa Kaya, Akya Nawa, Bashara Rahnoa, Hawa'a, Wayashamaya, Wayashamaya, Akyawa. Verse 28. Waya I Barawa Anashim Madanayadium Sakarium Waya Shikawa Waya Awa Yawasa Man Haba War Waya Makarawa Yawasa Lashama I Ya'alim Ba'ai Sharium Kasa Wayabaya Awa Ak Yawasa Matazaria Matazariama Matazariama. Verse 29. Wayashab Ra'awaban Al Habawar Wahana Ayan Yawasa Babawar Wayakwara I Bagad Yawa. 30 last verse. Wayashab Al Akyawa Wayamor Hayalad Ayan Nawa Wa Anya Ana Anya Ba'a.
This is Genesis chapter 37, verse 24. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. Verse 25. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. Verse 26. And Judah said unto his brother, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Verse 27. Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Verse 28. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. They were disgusting Christian bastards. That's exactly what a Christian would do. Sell his own people. That's what Christians do now. That's what pastors do all the time. They sell us out for nothing. Nothing. For 20 pieces of silver. How much did Judas get? Like 10 shekels of silver for Christ? Like, you're just greedy and only care about your own lust. The first step in loving another people is not putting you over the people. I don't even know what's so. That's like being in a marriage and you love yourself more than you love your spouse. Well, you're going to be a terrible husband or a terrible wife. The whole purpose of love is giving something that you don't expect in return. You're not loving somebody because you expect them to love you back. You're loving them because it is what's supposed to happen. It's what you're supposed to do. It's like being a good child who gets good grades. There's no reward in getting good grades. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, listen, if you love somebody, you're doing it not because of what you get in return. You're doing it because of what you're giving something. It's not expecting anything in return because you were commanded and ordered by the Most High God to do this thing. That's why you do anything, because you're ordered to do it. You don't need to know why you have to. You love your people because the alternative is unaliving your people. And you see how that turns out. You see the conditions we live in when we hate each other and can't stand to be around each other. We lose our lives in prison. We sell drugs to each other and we murder for hire like Little Dirk. You have no fathers in the home, mothers on dope. No one is getting any education in the Black and Hispanic community because we hate each other. So what's the alternative? Loving each other. When you love, brother, you're not expecting them to love you back. You're doing it because the alternative is terrible. That's love, Ak. Hurting for something, hurting for someone. That's love, Ak. You're not getting anything in return because you love. So what, you love your wife, and so now what do you expect her to be, the best wife in the world? Lord allows she can be. But say she's a terrible woman. You put your rod in her, you married her. Now you have to what? Love her. Sister, you let this man get on top of you and fatten you out like a pancake. So what do you have to do? You got to love him.
Right.
Even if he's a terrible, stupid, ignorant husband, you have to love him. Even if he gets you evicted out of all the houses you live in because he blows his money on weed, drugs, and liquor, you have to love him. You're not loving someone because of what you get in return. That's Christian garbage. Loving because love shouldn't hurt. Love absolutely hurts. Love absolutely hurts. And you're an idiot if you listen to any Christian tells you that loving shouldn't hurt. No, you're going to hurt for love. And you shouldn't ever expect to get anything in return because the alternative is worse than you getting nothing. The alternative to love is hate. And hate is what we have in every ghetto. It's what we have in every prison. It's what we have in every foster home. It's what we have in every psych ward. That's the result of hate. Everyone understand? This is Genesis chapter 37 and verse 27. Come and let us sell him to the, oh, Salakia, I'm past that. This is verse 29. And Reuben returned into the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. Verse 30. And he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? All right.
So we in Genesis 37 and 31 in the Hebrew. Wa'alakwa katha yawasa wa'yashakatwa sha'ayar Isayam Wayatabluwa Haka Dana Badam. Verse 32. Wayashalash, it's like Wayashalach wa Katha no na Hapasium Wayaba Yawa Abba Yahom Wayamarwa Za'a Matazah Anawa Hakar Na'a Hakah Na Banak Hawa'a Ma'a. Verse 33. Waya Kaya Ra Waya Amor Kathana Banya Haya Ra'ai Akla sorry Akala Dahwa.
That's right.
Akala, so like it. Tara, Yawasa, verse 34. Waya Korai, Yaikwa, Shamalah Yawa, Waya Sham, Shak, Bamath Nayawa, Waya that's like it. Waya the ball. Banwa, Yam Yam, Rabba Yam. Verse 35. Waya Kwamwa, call Bana Yawa, or call Bana Banath Yawa, Lana Kamwa, Waya Ma'an, Laha Tanakum, Waya Amor, Kaya, Arad, Al, Banya, Abal, Sha'ala. Wayabak, Afwa, Abayawa. Verse 36. Stop at 1.
Yeah, kind. So
31. Wahamad Niyam, Makarwa, Afwa, Al, Matazarium, Lapa, Wat, Yapar, Saranyum, Para'ai, Shar, Hatabakayum, Hatabakayum. Genesis chapter 38, verse 1. Wayahaya ba'ai hahawa'a wayarad yahawada ma'a ahyawa wayat ayash. So like ayash aidala washamawa washamwa hayara.
Christ. It's Genesis chapter 37 and verse 31. And they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid of the goats and dipped the coat in the blood. So they took their brother's cloak, that blanket. That's what GMS wear, blankets. And my staff, bro. I'm staff, bro. That's GMS coats. They wear shit, anything they can find, and put this garbage on. But this brother, his father, Jacob.
Tablecloths.
Yeah. This brother, Joseph, had a hardcore, glorious, colorful cloak. It was like a robe, and it was colorful and glorious and beautiful.
Fly.
It was very fly, hardcore. And his brother stripped him of that, and they took a goat, slit the goat's throat, unalive the goat, took that blood and smeared it on the brother's coat to make it seem like what? To make it seem like he was unalived, right? Remember that. This is verse 32. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, this have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. Now you see why they did it. Okay, verse 33. And he knew it and said, it is my son's coat. An evil beast have devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. Verse 34. And Jacob rent his clothes. Rent means to tear in Old English. It means to rip it up, tear. All right? And Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his son many days. Verse 35. And all his sons and his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. Verse 30, this is sad, brother. They don't even understand. This is what happens when you hate your brothers. You don't see the people who you love, how you hurt them. Think about Little Dirk, right? Little Dirk doesn't hate his daughters. I think Little Dirk has daughters and a son. He doesn't hate that son and daughters of his. He don't hate that baby mother, India Royal. He don't hate them. He loves them. He loved King Von, right? Who was supporting King Von's family when King Von was alive? Anybody want to give a guess? It was Little Dirk. Who's taking care of Little Dirk's kids? Little Dirk was. Because of his hatred for the men who unalived his friend, he had to go and pay someone to unalive them. Now Little Dirk is going to be in prison for the rest of his life in the federal penitentiary. I'm here in California, Elisha. In San Quentin, it's going to be terrible. Terrible, which I don't wish on any brother. And he's going to do this time. And so now who's going to take care of King Von's family? Now who's going to take care of his family? So you know how sad it is to see a child whose parent is incarcerated and they can't see their parent every day? They can't see them every visitation because there could be a lockdown, something going on. Now his children can't see him whenever they want. Now his children can talk to him whenever they want. You know how effective, you know how terrible that affects a child? So now, because of the hatred he had for his brother, the people he loved is suffering because of his actions, because of his hatred. Just like those 11 brothers of Israel, the 11 sons of Israel, those 11 brothers of Joseph, they didn't hate Jacob. They loved their father Israel. They loved their mothers. They hated their brother. And because they hated their brother, now they're causing great pain to come upon someone they love so much. That's what happens when we hate each other. The people who you do love, because you hate your people, now you're going to make them suffer. Now they're going to feel a pain they should not feel, all because of your hatred towards your people. All of this could be avoided if you just learn to love your people instead of hating your people, and then you won't hurt the people who you love. You see how that works? The Lord is poetic in that the people who you love are going to get hurt because you hate so much the people who you want to hurt. And now the people who you love are going to be hurt by it. They're going to go days and years and grow up. His daughter is going to be his daughter's going to grow up and be a woman one day. And she's got to grow without her father in the house. I pray you understand how terrible that is for a black girl to do. His son is going to grow up without a father in the house. I know you see how terrible it is for black boys to grow up without fathers. All because of his hatred towards somebody who is his people. Now he hurts the people who he actually does love. That is the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Those 11 sons that remained, that went to Jacob and told Israel, this is what happened to your son. They hurt their father tremendously. And they didn't know it. They didn't understand it until they seen the pain on their father's face. Until he made that remark of, I'm going to go to my grave mourning my favorite son. They see the hurt they caused someone they love, all because of the hatred they had towards someone they hurted. Now they see what it feels like. Now they, you know what happens to everybody? Now they regret it. Now regret starts to seep in. You see, now when you're doing all that time in prison and you're sitting behind that cell, you start to ponder once or twice and think, what in the hell did I do? Why did I do what I did? What was I thinking? That happens in every man and woman's life that makes terrible mistakes. You're across in Afghanistan and Iraq and you join the oppressive military, you're going to wonder, why the hell did I do this when bullets are flying over your goddamn head? You're going to wonder, what in the hell was I thinking signing that contract for 4 years? What did I get myself into? That happens to all of us when you make terrible mistakes. That's why we need leaders. That's why you need a leader who can tell you what to do and what not to do, so you don't have to live a life of regret. Everyone understand? This is Genesis chapter 37, verse 35, verse 36. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard. Genesis chapter 38, verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite whose name was Hira. Right. What I was trying to say is like also, you stopped in verse 8. What I was trying to say earlier was hurting the people you hate is going to hurt the people you love. You understand? Whenever you hurt the brothers and sisters that you hate so much, you're going to end up hurting the people you love. So I can go ahead, Elisha.
We're in Genesis chapter 38, verse 2. Going back to the Hebrew. Wayara'ah, Sham, Yahawada, Bath, Ayash, Kananya, Washamwa, Shawai, Wayakwaka, Wayaba'a, Alaya. Verse 3. Wata Hor, Wata La, Ban, Yakwa, Waya Kwara, Shamwa, Ire.
Most High Christ, shalom. Shalom to the sisters and brothers checking in. Shalom, Yahweh Shemesh Thumb to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Alathun, Bahashim Yahweh to all the sisters. Give the sisters and brothers a hand. The sister Captain Gall's rib, one of his ribs checked in. The sister Shawashana, I believe. That's Shawashana, yeah. Give sister Shawashana a hand. Give the sister who always checking in. The sister Nazam Amah. Give that sister a hand, man. Most High Christ, brother. Most High Christ, sisters. Go ahead, Elisha.
I was just giving it a quick look, real quick.
Me too.
Quick look. Where are we at?
The brother's just looking at the messages, the comment section.
Yeah, that's your watch.
God, give the sisters and the brothers a hand. Most High Christ. Most High Christ. Go ahead and finish this off, Elisha.
Kind of.
These are the last 7, all right? Last 7 verses.
All right. Genesis 38 and 4 in the Hebrew. Watahar, Iwad, Watalad, Ban, Watapora, Shamwa, Awa, Nan. Verse 5. Watasa, Iwad, Watalad, Ban, Watapora, Shamwa, Shala, Wahaya, Bakazaya, Balada or Balada? Balata, Athwa, verse 6. Judah.
Yeah, right.
Wayakwa, Yehoda, Asha, the iron. Was that like Ira? La Ira?
God.
La Ira, Bakawara, Washama, Tamar. Verse 7. We stopping at 8, right? Wayahaya, Ire, Bakawar, Yehoda, Ra'ai, Ba'ai, Yanya, Yehoah, Wayamahawa, Yehoah. Verse 8. Wayamar, Yehoda, La'awan, La'awanan, Ba'a, Ashak, Achayak, Wayabam, Ata, Wahakwam, Zerai, La'achayak.
All right. We're in Genesis chapter 38, verse 2. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in unto her. So he married this woman. He had sex with her, right? And sex is marriage. Verse 3. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Verse 4. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. Verse 5. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Shezeb when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Verse 7. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Most High, and the Most High slew him. Good Lord, That's the Most High God that we serve. I don't know what God you serve in the church, but the God of the Bible slays children because they're terrible children, because they're disobedient children. And he slays a race of people for their disobedience and punishes them too. Because the Most High God is not the God of unconditional love, but he is the God of order, and he is the God and not the author of confusion. That's who the Most High God is. He's a man of war, and he's a good father, like any perfect father would punish their child. And so he actually took away the son of Judah, one of the sons of Judah, because of how disobedient he was. They say he was a wicked boy. He was wicked. His firstborn was wicked. Like you fake Israelites, wicked. They love to use that word. You are the very thing that you describe, fake Israelites. The purple sodomites, the GMS, all you people outside of the Israelite school, UPK, you are wicked, and the Most High God will destroy you too. Verse 8, and Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. All right, with that being said, I imagine, which means to stand, just us up here. Sar.
La
Yashala. Sar. All right, Imajim, which means to stand, everyone stand. You got it, Elisha. All right. Well, Panya Hakodam, which is do just one step over that way.
To the right.
Yep, there you go. Now you can come just a little bit closer. There you go. Well, Panya Hakodam, which means to rise and face the east. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim. Wadash.
Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malak. Taba'ah. Batazai. Hayah. Aisha. Baharatazai. Kawah. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathanaw. Kal. Yawam. Kasalaknaw. Wala'ah. Kabayanaw. Anasayawam. Abal. Abashayanaw. Mayan. Ra. Kayah. Lakah, Malakwa, Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Babakusha. Nathanaw. Hakak. La'pa'ah. Kal Madawa. Latahal. Amatazariah. Hakak. Amafia. Tama'ala. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wadaman. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power to heal. All manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to raise the Salakia, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, cast them out, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. The prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Barak Lanaw. Wayashala. Bayaf Sapari. Barak. Rapah. Magan. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wadaman.
What we just said was Yahweh, the name of Yahushua. Bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha, Ayan, Mahahar, Mahayan, Yabah, Izar, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemai, Waharatazah, Al-Yutan, Namawat, Regal, Al-Yanawam, Shamar, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shalomar, Yasha'al, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazal, Al-Yad, Yamnika, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakai, Wayarab, Yahweh, Yashamar, Kalra, Yashamar, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'af, I will Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al Damayalaka. Al Takarash. Al Tashakwat. Al Kayahana. Yahamayawan. Mashanai. Yasha'awa. Ash. Al Anakin. Yarayam. Sawa. Wayatayai Tazawah. Al Tazapawanya. Amawa. The Kawa. Goya. Wala. Yazakar. Sham Yashal. Kaya. Nawai Tazawah. La. Yakhadu. Orya. Yakaraf. Adawan. Oyashamaal. Mawab. Hagari. Gabal. Amala. Alashab. Tazawur. Gamashawu. Nalawa. Aiman. Zarawad. Nabundilawa. Salah. Aisha. Hamad. Kasayasara. Hayabia. Manakal. Yashmad. Bayanda. Iowa. Dama. Shayatham. Nadiyamu. Ukazaba. Amawa. Lanawa. Nawa. Alahaya. Shayatham. Kakwash. Sa'ash. Kabairi. Bukalahab. Aryan. Khan. Daradap. Basara. Obasawapak. Malab. Panyahon. Kolawan. Wayabakwash. Shamka. Yahweh. Yabash. Wayabahal. Wayabad. Kaya. Atha. Shamka. Yahweh. So like Yawan. Ha'aratazah. Aman. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy head. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, Moab, and the Hagarites, Gebal, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. As also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, and the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zed. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Hold my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame sets the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, and trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, and men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So be it. The prayer of the blessings of the power structure in the Hebrew. Yahweh Masalaki. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabia. Alawap Yahana. Ha Saranya. Ha Katazayanya. Ha Kayayawi. Wa Yahweh. Hashem Yahushua. What Aman. In English. Bless you Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Mike. And the angels. Commanding General Yahweh. The general. The captain. The officer. The troopers and the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn.
Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Sar. How about Shimmy al Shaprak? Yeah. Sar. You can put it down now. There you go. Oops. It's all right. Sisters, Yeshabi, which means to be seated. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imadu Shabbat, Imadu, Barak, Yahabah, Shimmy al Shabrak, Yajimatah. Sisters, Imadu, which means to stand. Sar, face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imadu Shabbat, Imadu, Barak, Yahweh Shema al Shimmy al Yajimatah. Dismissed. Take it down, like